Good morning, it's Beardman&Son. Today Beardman's not here. He's on a vacation trip to Ireland, Switzerland. But today we're going to talk about recognizing type of malfunctions with your pistol. Alright, there's one malfunction where the trigger is very mushy, alright, when you pull the trigger, and there's one when you pull the trigger and it goes click. So we're going to go identify first. The first malfunction is not in full battery. Basically what that means is that the firearm is not in full battery. As you can see right here on my barrel right here on top, it's not completely seated. So when you go ahead and pull the trigger, nothing happens. You can pull the trigger, right, and it's just mushy and you don't hear any mechanical click. Alright? Alright? You pull the trigger, nothing. All you have to do is when you pull the trigger with focus, look right over the top of your slide, and you can see that it's not in full battery. All you gotta do is push it forward. Alright? We'll demonstrate one more time. Come up, pull the trigger, nothing. Recognize this is a battery, pull the trigger. Alright? That's gonna be the malfunction for the slide not going to full battery. Right. Next, I'm gonna cover stovepipes, and there's many variations of a stovepipe. Okay, there's one where you can, I will call it a combat speed or combat correction, or you can lock the slide to the rear, clear that stovepipe, but also you're gonna have an additional problem, and I will talk about that. So first, let's talk about a stovepipe. All right. A stovepipe is when you have an expanded card top of your handgun, just like so. You have a stovepipe that is vertical, you have the stovepipe that is horizontal or parallel with the barrel, which is caught inside, and we'll talk about how to correct that malfunction. You have a stovepipe that points out towards my right, to my right. Pull the trigger, right, and when you pull the trigger, it's mushy as well. You won't feel a mechanical click. Three ways you can do this. Well, let's talk about the two combat corrections that I talked about. Okay, one, you can either do a knife edge, forward, backward. It's just your back towards you. It's just your preference. Or you can go ahead and shift your thumb on your support hand up and sweep it out of the way. Right, but you want to sweep it out where the expanded cartridge would eject. All right, first I'm gonna go ahead and do it with my thumb and sweep it out of the way. All right, first I come up, push the trigger, nothing, I sweep it out of the way. Okay, now let's talk about a knife edge. You come up, stovepipe malfunction, do a knife edge. Okay, next we're gonna talk about locking your slide to the rear, right, and clearing that stovepipe. As you clear that stovepipe, I'm gonna show you why that is not the preferred method. Okay, it's still a method, but it's not the preferred method. All right, what you can do, you come up, fire nothing, you lock your slide to the, let the slide go forward. Fire to. That is not the preferred method. It's because you expended it a good round that you might need later. Okay, now let's talk about a stovepipe that is at a 90-degree angle from your slide. It can look like this. Alright, and how you can do, right, you can either sweep, a knife edge sweep, which I would do, or you can take your thumb and push it out of the way. Right, you can either use your thumb, sweep it out, or you can do a knife edge. Okay, let's talk about another stovepipe malfunction. What right here? It's parallel with your slide, right? So you have to immediately recognize that. There's no way you can do this except rack the slide to the rear and clear the malfunction. But when you rack the slide to the rear, I want you to help assist it. How? By canting your handgun and let it eject out, right? Or you can try to use your thumb, right? But your thumb might get caught right in there, and I don't want to do that. That's where the action is the slide. is going forward, right, into full battery. So what I would do is, when I recognize this malfunction, I will go ahead and lock the slide to the rear. We're going to demonstrate how that looks like. You pull the trigger, it's a mushy trigger, nothing happens, right? You shift focus and you see that the slide is not into full battery, and you recognize that there is a stovepipe that is parallel with the slide. What you want to do is lock the slide to the rear, right? Let the slide go forward. Okay, we just went over your slide will not go into full battery and have to correct that malfunction. We went over vertical stovepipe, parallel stovepipe, or horizontal. So you have to recognize what type of malfunction that is. Right? One, it's a mushy trigger. Okay, if you pull the trigger and it's clicked, we all know what to do with that. Slap, rat, and pull the trigger. Right? But you do recognize this mushy trigger. You have to learn how to identify. Okay, is my slide in full battery, or do I have a stovepipe? All right, go ahead and clear that stovepipe. Sorry that Beardman can't be here today, so I'm just gonna represent the both of us. Please go ahead and like, subscribe, comment,